Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Tian and today I'm here to speak with you about Chiron. This video is all about helping you to understand and interpret your own innate wounds and learn how to heal them, just as the wounded healer Chiron. Chiron is a centaur, half man and half horse. It is currently at 23 degrees and 32 minutes of Aries, and it will be moving through and ingressing into Taurus in 2027. With Chiron currently in Aries, the themes that we are exploring are wounds relevant to selfhood, independence, impulsivity, physical activity, masculinity, and self-assertion. In each individual sign, the whole collective, on an unconscious level, work through their own innate healing. However, there is also a individualistic healing and wounding that occurs with Chiron that is relevant to an individual's natal chart. If you wish to explore this, please do feel free to do so in my other video whereby we explore Chiron throughout the 12 signs. However, this individual video is specific to understanding Chiron on an astronomical, mythological, and astrological basis, and also highlighting the energies of Chiron to help you understand and interpret your own innate wounds and healing. The following video will go in and dive deeper into the characteristics per sign and per house. So let's explore Chiron. The astronomy of Chiron. It was discovered in 18 of October 1977 by Charles Colwell in the Palomar Observatory. It was initially classified as an asteroid. However, over a few years, it became clear that it exhibited the characteristics that both asteroids and comets have, and therefore was labeled as a centaur. This classification is due to the fact that there is a small solar system of bodies that orbit between Jupiter and Neptune. Chiron itself has its dual nature, birthed out of Greek mythology, blending the human and animal characteristics that we see on the Sagittarius plane. These objects also orbit between the asteroid belt and the Kuiper belt. Chiron is estimated to be about 200 kilometers in diameter, or in American terms 125 miles. It is one of the largest centaurs known. The orbital characteristics of Chiron is highly eccentric, whereby it is elongated and inclined to crossing paths between Saturn and Uranus, with the last time it did so in 1922 in the sign of Leo. It takes about 50.45 years to orbit the Sun, or 50.5 years. Chiron's discovery and subsequent classification contributed significantly to the astronomical understanding of the diversity of the small solar system of bodies and their complex orbital behaviors. Its dual classification as both an asteroid and a comet makes it a unique and intriguing object for astronomers and planetary scientists alike. The mythology of Chiron is highly interesting, and it is one that is birthed out of Greece. Chiron in and of itself is the offspring to the Titan Cronus, as we call Saturn, and the ocean nymph and the melodious Philaera. Chiron's lineage is bestowed upon him a unique blending of the sagacity of the Titans and the wild spirit of the natal world. Chiron was in fact conceived when Titan and Philaera shapeshift as they were gods, and they became in their other formation of a horse, hence that he was born half man and half horse. He was raised on Mount Pelion by the god Apollo. Apollo was kind and giving, and therefore helped offer Chiron this beautiful energy that he portrayed. This upbringing contributed to Chiron's reputation for nobility, selflessness, and exceptional wisdom. and Apollo taught him various arts and sciences. He became a skillful healer and master in all types of arts, including music, just like his mother, and archery. The historical wounds of ancestry and cultural injustices are birthed out of this beautiful healing energy. Chiron is known for his nobility, selflessness, and wisdom, as I just mentioned, and Hercules accidentally wounded him with a poisonous arrow during battle with other centaurs. And as an immortal being, Chiron was wounded. He endured this excruciating pain with this poisoned arrow that medicine could not alleviate for over 900 years. Therefore, he decided to trade places with Prometheus, who was chained to a rock because of his mocking of Zeus, in exchange for his freedom. This highlights the energy of Chiron, whereby we are to walk a mile in someone else's shoes. It is a birthing of this innate empathy and of the collective unconscious that I will explore later. Chiron was a healer, an astrologer, and a respected oracle in ancient times. He stands out as among the centaurs for his gentleness, his wisdom, and his contribution to the well-being and the education of heroes in Greek mythology. Therefore, his story blends elements of tragedy and sacrifice, profound knowledge and healing, which makes him innately a unique figure in ancient Greek lore, just as it makes the energy of Chiron so cathartic, healing, and transformative for yourself and also for others. The astrology of Centaur Chiron represents the wound and the healer. It highlights this deep healing and transformative energy, despite the fact that it is associated with pain and suffering. It represents deep emotional wounds, traumas, and vulnerabilities that individuals carry throughout their lives. These wounds can be psychological, spiritual, or existential. This healing gives the healer the ability to help others transform, and therefore highlights this wounding and this healing energy. The integration of Chiron gives an energy of wholeness, of empathy, and of understanding of the collective unconscious. This collective unconscious framework was birthed by Carl Jung, noting that perspectives gifted by pain and suffering of one and the healing of these wounds to help others and navigate their own innate similar challenges brings this holistic approach of Chiron, whereby he is influencing and encouraging this holistic nature of healing, incorporating both traditional and alternative therapies. It promotes a level of self-acceptance, of forgiveness of self and also others, and the courage to confront and transform one's individual and innate pain. There is a lot of wounds associated with Chiron. Chiron, as it pertains to the individual characteristic throughout your chart and your natal chart, along with the houses and the signs that it's taking place in, highlights these innate wounds. However, an individual who is triggering the energy of Chiron is experiencing a lot of symptoms that are associated with psychological illness and or physical illness. And this highlights this holistic nature of Chiron in and of himself, and also his half human, half horse nature, whereby some of it is on a physical front and others is on an energetic front, whereby we are also healing the energies of our ancestry through healing the wounds of Chiron. The wounds of Chiron can be portrayed as hyperarousal, and hypervigilance, whereby we are constantly in a state of fight or flight or fawn and freeze. It is also highlighted in our relationships, as our relationships are our mirrors, as I continue to speak of on my Instagram page and Facebook page, whereby we are externalizing our triggers, including projecting our energy onto our partners, especially because they are the ones that are with us majority of the time. These projections also trigger this defensive nature, whereby the individual, especially in the painful triggers taking place, whereby we feel aroused in a negative way and choose to externalize our reactions by temporarily taking an objective stance from a place of our inner observer. This also can create disassociation as well. It is a learned skill and technique that helps an individual remove themselves from a potentially triggering emotional exchange. It depends on the footings and the groundings of your relationship and your childhood that highlights the way that you actually going to work through, process, and defensively move through the wounds of Chiron. For example, if you grew up in a home where there was consistent emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, including violence and neglect, there will be a state of hyperarousal and hypervigilance, whereby your central nervous system is at a hyper alert state at all times. This actually gives birth to autoimmune issues, which I actually had and healed myself of lupus. And this is because your central nervous system is in such a heightened state for a prolonged period of time, which is not supposed to be. We're supposed to tap into that parasympathetic nervous system state. And this causes those issues of those autoimmune diseases, and also potentially cancers and the likes as well. But that is more linked to resentment if you follow Louise Hay's incredible work. Now, there is a lot of healing that can come from Chiron and the energy of Chiron. Chiron is all about integrating. So when an individual does encounter their Chiron return, which happens around the age of 50, 50 and a half, thereabouts, there is a very strong ability to heal and transform. Integrating the wholeness of the Chiron's astrological placement highlights these areas whereby you are wounded and you feel inadequate. However, the healing of acknowledging those wounds and integrating them into your identity using the lessons learned will help you greater achieve a sense of wholeness. There is also the ability to enter into this wisdom and maturity, whereby you reach a point in your life that offers you security in who you are, and this can also be identified through the midlife crisis per se, whereby an individual goes out and starts doing things erratically. This is a justification of the healing of Chiron, I believe, in my personal opinion, and it's quite interesting to see that on an astrological basis, and it all does relate to other astrological placements as well. There is a great encouragement of spiritual growth and deeper understanding of oneself. This includes through that introspection and confronting those deep-seated fears and insecurities as well. Chiron is all about dealing with the challenges of life and working through the healing process. It is not a linear process, and healing is not going to be done overnight. If you are alive, you are on a constant cycle of healing. And that is the blessing and the curse of life itself. However, as you grow through your healing journey, you will find that healing is actually a beautiful and cathartic thing, and it is something that is to be celebrated as opposed to suppressed. There is a strong reassessment of priorities, relationships, and life path path rather, based on insights gained during the Chiron return. It is again that turning point that occurs and that seemingly midlife crisis. It is favorable time to engage in healing practices such as therapy, astrology, meditation, energy work, including kinesiology, and even psychology on a deeper, more profound level, whereby it supports the emotional and spiritual growth. In summary, there is a potential ability to integrate past wounds and create a more empowered and healed sense of self with the Chiron return and the healing of Chiron itself. I do hope that this has birthed new insight for you into Chiron and the energies at play with regards to individualistic healing and also healing the trauma of the lineage. My next video will go into more specifically the energies at play with healing Chiron throughout the signs. Thank you and bless you. And if you do like this video, please may you give it a thumbs up. If you are interested in hearing more, please do hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you and many healing blessings to you.